Hello there!
I'm Emily.
And I'm Kayla.
And we just want to talk movies. And today, we are giving our review for
Frankenstein.
Yes.
Frankenstein by Guillermo del Toro.
And Mary Shelley.
Yeah.
It just premiered on Netflix yesterday for us. Not for you guys listening.
Yeah. It is currently November 8th. Yeah, so we we watched it last night. And today we're going to give you our thoughts. But first,
News.
Do you have any news, Emily?
Well, just the big news, the big disappointing
Oh, you didn't
news.
talk about this yet?
Not that I recall.
Oh.
We were on the cusp.
Of greatness.
We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close, you guys, to getting not just a sequel to Rise of Skywalker, but an entire movie about Ben Solo and his search for redemption.
A moment of silence.
A script was written by Steven Soderbergh.
Oh my god, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
And I think Adam Driver as well maybe wrote some of it, or he at least had a very, involved hand in it. Now, every time people talked to Adam Driver about, would you come back to Star Wars, blah, 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 he'd be like, I don't know, just like... And in my mind, I'm like...
He was cooking.
Yep.
Let him cook.
In my mind, I thought he's like, no way, I don't ever want to do this again. It turns out, no. He has revealed how much he loves the character and wanted to go way further with his story. And he said the script that they worked on is like one of the best scripts that he ever worked on.
Wow.
And they brought it to Lucasfilm. They brought it to Kathleen Kennedy herself, who said yes.
Wow.
Let's do this.
Everything was going great. Everything was going splendid. We had the product. The product was top of its game. We had the approval of one who shall not be named, who was just named.
And then they brought it to Disney. And Disney was like, nah, it doesn't make sense that Ben Solo's alive, and we don't understand how he's alive.
They sat down with the president of Disney Channel, and they said they wanted to make history. And you know what the president said? Nah. Well, no.
Because we don't understand how he's alive.
Still be alive.
I guarantee you, somewhere in that script mentioned something of how he's still alive.
Or if it didn't, maybe we could just add that.
Maybe
Seems
just
simple.
add in a line that says,
somehow
Ben Solo is returned.
It almost seems like it's that easy. And
Staples.
maybe, to be fair, maybe he's traumatized. Maybe the president is traumatized over what happened with Rise of Skywalker. But, part of the backlash of Rise of Skywalker was that they threw Ben Solo's character away. So why wouldn't
threw him in the dumpster?
Hey, we have a chance. Everyone says I don't know about everyone, but a lot of people have been clamoring for more, a sort of redemption story for him. And they got served up to them on a silver platter and said, no, I'd rather eat McDonald's.
I guess not even McDonald's, though.
Bad McDonald's.
You'd rather eat...
Burger King from California.
So this is a very traumatizing time for us Star Wars fans, for us Adam Driver fans, because we're probably never ever going to see him return as Ben Solo.
I just want something more about Ben Solo. We've been talking about the origin story movie series.
We have great content.
Yeah, we have it there.
In the comics.
The sacred texts are there.
Yes.
You just need to see them.
A wonderful... The Rise of Kylo Ren is an amazing comic. And as I was reading it, I'm like, I can picture this cinematically. Mm-hmm. It needs to happen. No. Wild. Because for whatever reason, Disney hates Star Wars fans and wants to give them everything except for what they ask for. That makes sense as a business model.
Okay.
And Kathleen Kennedy, I don't know if this is true. This is just a rumor that I heard. But apparently Kathleen Kennedy said this is the very first time that Disney rejected a finished script.
What the hell? Like,
so I don't know what is going on.
I don't know what the thought process was. I tried to explain it like I just did, and ultimately, logic is not in the room with us.
No. Maybe it never was. Because we get things like The Acolyte.
I don't think it ever was, except for when they were doing the Clone Wars. Maybe.
When they finished off the Clone Wars in a grandiose fashion. And
after that, well, I guess before and after that, there were flops.
And I'm not even, like, I like a lot of the shows that they did. I like all 3 Mandalorians. Yes, even the 3rd season I like. I liked the Obi-Wan show. No one else did.
I liked it. I think it could have been way better.
It definitely could have been better. But I was expecting, like, poopy.
Yeah. Toilet Lane. My favorite street.
I loved
Disney's
Book of Boba Fett. Street. Everyone hates that show. I loved that show.
That show was really good. Why do people hate it? Just because the Mandalorian's in it too much?
That, and I guess they just, like, that's not what Boba Fett's like. I don't... whatever.
Okay.
Whatever you say. So yeah, this is just a disappointing time. The fans are rioting. We had the plane fly over Disney Studios with the Save Hunt for Ben Solo.
I mean, I'll second it.
Yes,
I stand by that.
I'll sign any petition.
Paid for by Kamala Harris.
And it's funny because I think Adam Driver knew exactly what he was doing when he
slyly announced it.
Yeah, he was so like, listen, like, describing it, hyping it up, and being like, and, you know, Disney said no. He's like, it's officially dead in the water, so I can talk about it now. Like, he knows he's gonna stir up some stuff.
Did it just happen? Or has it been a while and he's finally...
I think it's... I don't really know. It sounds like it's been a little while since they rejected it. But I don't know. I don't know how those things work.
Me either.
So, yeah.
Well, is that all your news?
Yep, that's all that's been taking up my mind.
Okay, let's take a turn off Toilet Lane and on to Joyous Occasion Lane. Because I have big Stranger Things news. Are you ready? That was one of my best ones. That was one of the most clearest I've ever done. Which is not saying much. So, about 2 days ago was November 6th. If you don't know, November 6th is National Stranger Things Day because it marks the day that it all began. And we had a little premiere event. It was the official Stranger Things 5 premiere at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood, which was really cool. They did a live stream event from the premiere, and I watched the whole thing except for the very end when I was like, okay, they already showed me everything. I need to log off. But I was there for pretty much the whole thing, and it was very fun. I think they had planned to do a lot more because they were saying that they were going to do a bunch of giveaways and fan questions, but then it ended up being like basically just interviews with the cast, and then it ended. So, I mean, I'm fine with that because that was all I was there for. But anyway, the biggest event of the night, obviously, was seeing everyone's looks. Everyone looked great. But the biggest event was they released the first 5 minutes of footage from season 5. And girls, I was screaming inside. I was very silent on the outside. I was silenced.
I was gagged.
So, I mean, all throughout the interviews, they're all hyping up about, oh, we're gonna get so many answers to things, especially to do with why this all happened in the first place. Why was Will taken? Why did he survive? Why does he have weird sensual sounds weird. Why does he have the power to sense stuff?
Sensory.
Yeah, sensory powers. Well, sensual is the same thing. It just has a different context to it.
Like daddy.
Like what? Like daddy, yes. But anyway, the first 5 minutes were basically like you got to see what happened after in season 1 episode 6 6 or 7, I believe, at the very end, when the Demogorgon shows up at Castle Byers in the Upside Down, and like you see the wall shatter, and you know that Will's been taken, and that he's been in big trouble. You get to see what happens there, and I do have to get it out of the way that they obviously needed a new actor for Will because he's not that tiny anymore, and they did like a digital. They put his face digitally on it. It did not look very good. Maybe a couple shots, like definitely at the end when he already has like the upside down tube in his mouth, it looks fine. And like when he's being pulled up by the vines, it looks fine. But like when they do a close up of like his scared face, I'm like, this looks like a video game. It looked really bad. But you know, I can get past it.
Up.
Maybe, I don't know. I can get past that because I mean, we saw some reveals. Obviously, we get to see Will climbing up the trees. He's trying to run from the Demogorgon. The Demogorgon chases after him. Will leaps across to another tree, and then he falls because he's just a little guy. And then he's strung up by his backpack, and I'm like, oh gosh, poor little Will. And then he falls again, and he passes out. And then, what do we see? The Demogorgon is not eating him like we would assume an animal like a Demogorgon would do. No, the Demogorgon is dragging Will to Hawkins' library. And who is there? But Vecna. So, Vecna and Will go way back, basically. And Vecna tells, I can't remember the exact line, but he puts the tube into Will's mouth, which is like very, I don't know. The imagery of that was very disturbing.
We're talk about sensual now.
Yeah, I mean, I've always thought that there was sort of a metaphor going on there for what happened with Will, but like seeing that, I was like, this is uncomfortable. But anyway, Vecna says that you and I will do such beautiful things together, William. So, like, you know that he chose Will for a reason. What is that reason? I think we will spend all of season 5 finding out. So, it was a great little tease. I'm so glad that I got to see it live. I was one of the first people to see it because I was watching it live, so that was really fun. And yeah, that's pretty much all the news of Stranger Things. My other piece of news is that we did get a new 40-second clip of the vampire Lestat for Lestat's birthday on November 7th. So those 2 days back to back were quite fun for me. It's just a clip of Daniel setting up an interview, like a documentary interview with Lestat, and then he walks into the room and is really mad about the set dressing, which is so real of him. A fern, and what else was he? A lamp and a fern. He was very upset with what he was offered. He said, I walk into a room with that fern and I don't walk into a room. I'm like, what does that mean?
It means he doesn't like to do it.
He doesn't like to do it. He said, this is the kind of room where old people hold your hand and say, don't let me die here. So Sassmaster is, he's off the charts.
He should have said, who am I, Armand?
A fern, a little plant. Yeah, so that was really fun. It was a bit of a nothing tease, but anything is something to me. So that was very fun. And that's all my news. Very much more lighthearted than Emily's.
Mm-hmm. No moments of silence or mourning.
Yes.
Except for Will's dignity.
I know, poor Will. He's really going to go through it, I'm sure. So yeah, let's move into the main diva of today, which is Frankenstein.
Which is Jacob Elordi.
Oh, yes.
Monster.
Frankenstein 2025. What are our thoughts? What are our feelings? What are our opinions? What are our likes, dislikes? What is our final rating? You will find out right now. Who am I going first? I usually go first.
Sure.
I liked it. I thought it was really good. I thought it was really good. It had that classic Guillermo del Toro style. The sweepy camera movements, the vivid colors. I really loved the bright splashes of red, and how I loved the gloves. Dr. Frankenstein has bright red gloves, and it's oh, there's blood on his hands.
Yes.
So I thought that was really cool. The costumes, in general, were incredible, and I love particularly, even though it's one of the least flashy costumes, although that's not saying much. The monster's costume was really cool just because of how it evolved. It evolved with him, which I thought was really cool. And when he's in the distance walking in the like final look where it's all it's like big around the shoulder, so he looks huge, and then it's all ripped up. It looks really cool when he's like lumbering along in that. What else did I like? Well, I really liked the monster in this. I think this is my favorite version of the monster. Just because, I mean, Jacob Elordi's really hot in it, first of all.
let's
talk
get that elephant in the room.
When he first woke up, I looked at Emma and I was like, wait a minute.
He had the little, what they call that face where you go like...
Yeah, he was kind of mewing the whole time, but like in a charming way where I wasn't annoyed.
It was like an innocent mew.
Yeah. But yeah, I really liked, at first I was mad about the change that they made from the book, where in the book, as soon as the monster wakes up, Frankenstein is immediately like, what did I do? And he runs away. And which I think is really compelling. But I also think that what they did was really compelling. I like how you got to see how like their relationship actually form and how it turned pretty sour pretty fast because, you know, the monster was not what Frankenstein expected him to be. And so all that arc was really interesting. And then obviously we did get the arc where the monster goes to that family in the cottage, which is my favorite part of the book. And I think they adapted that really nice. Everything with the monster, he was like probably the most sympathetic, to a fault. Actually, one of my criticisms, which I'll talk about later, does have to do with them making the monster like the most sympathetic he's been in any of the film adaptations. But I don't know, he just was like a character that I wanted to follow. Once it was the monster story time, I was like way more interested than I was when it was Frankenstein's story, because I was like, I want to hear from this guy's perspective. The violence, I really liked it. It's female rage coded.
Yes.
Because like, okay, you're gonna say that I'm awful and no one likes me because I'm ugly, but I don't believe that. But
oh, he's so disgusting. Get him away from me.
They tried, maybe. I don't really think that they tried, because like I said, I think it's very Shape of Water-esque, where the monster is like supposed to be this beautiful, slightly sexy, not even
very
slightly,
sexy.
very sexy being, which, you know, I don't mind. I mean, I'll look at it, sure.
I'll female gaze.
And then when he turns and is so violent, it's like, oh, and then you're like, how did he get to this point? You get to see that, and it's lovely. And again, the shots of, like, the opening shot where he comes and kills all of the sailors was like, that was pretty cool. That was a great way to start it off bombastically. Yes. Yeah. So we're staying on likes for now. Your likes?
Yes. Well, overall, I thought it was very good. It's weird. When I first heard about this movie, I was obviously super excited because I love Frankenstein, and then I heard the cast. I was like, oh, yes, please. But then as like we got closer to it, I was trying to lower my expectations, be like, okay, because a lot of times I get too excited about stuff and then I get disappointed. So I'm like, let's just go into it like with neutral expectations. And then I ended up being just super surprised with how good it was. If this doesn't get any award recognition for costume, production design,
cinematography,
all that, then that'll be a huge snub. So I'm sure they'll get a nomination. At least, because it's Guillermo del Toro, and they love him at the Oscars.
I can see them getting some of the bigger awards. I don't know if it'll be a winner, but maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely... I'm trying to think of other movies this year that impressed me that much, like costume and production-wise. I can't recall.
Yeah. But I think costume-wise, it's definitely a contender for winner.
Yes.
And nominee.
Yes. I really loved all the performances, especially Oscar Isaac and Jacob Elordi. Obviously, they carry the whole thing. I love when Oscar Isaac plays a villain. It's so good.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good at, like, because he has that charm and charisma that makes him likable to follow along. But then he's also just the biggest dick, and he plays that so well. You're just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, Jacob Elordi really surprised me with how emotional he was, how good. I didn't even recognize his voice, honestly.
They definitely put some effects on it, but I do think he was doing some stuff there.
Yeah, I was really, really happy with it. I think that Andrew Garfield would have been interesting to see, but honestly,
I can't see it now.
Yeah, after
see,
watching it, I'm like, I don't know.
When I could see Andrew Garfield as the doctor.
Yep.
Like, that's what I thought when they released the casting announcement. It was like, that's perfect. Like, that's kind of a role that's, like, made for him, in my opinion.
And I thought Oscar Isaac was going to be
which is
monster.
also kind of a role that's made for him. But the way that they went with it in this movie, I think that they chose the perfect actor. Because there's that, like, young, youthful innocence to him that I think Jacob Elordi brought better than I think the other two could bring.
Yes, I agree. It wasn't like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the 90s one with what's his name, Robert De Niro. That was a very different creature, which I think, I don't know. I feel it because I watched that movie before reading the book, so that kind of like was what I pictured. So in my mind, that was more like the book. The book
is definitely, like I said, he's the most likable in this movie. He's a little more hardened in the book, but I don't know quite as hardened as in the 90s movie. I can't really remember.
So yeah, I really loved it, and yes, they promised bloody violence and images in the beginning, and as always, I was like, probably means there's just gonna be like a blood splatter somewhere. Yeah, but they definitely delivered, and I was very happy.
There's lots of body parts, lots of blood, lots of violence.
Yes, lots of gooey flesh.
CG blood that I didn't really mind that much.
Yeah, I mean,
there's only a few moments where I was like, that's dripping a lot more than real blood would drip.
And they film it in a way. Plus, it's the type of movie it is. Yes. If this were like a slasher movie, then it wouldn't fit. Exactly. But since it's the gothic horror, little bit of like action, I guess, in it, then it fit a lot better. Mia Goth was in it a lot less than I thought, but I feel like her role was like super effective. And like one that, when you think back on it, like, oh, she wasn't in it that much, but her character like stuck out to me. I guess because she's really different than Elizabeth in the book and in the other what do you call them, adaptations, say interpretations. She's obviously playing like a depressed woman who's not happy in the life that she's in. I feel like maybe they could have focused a little, like a tad more on her, just so we learn a bit more about like what makes her life so crushing. I mean, I guess, like, it's tale as old as time for women. We know why she's so upset. And then she finds someone, you know, she feels, like, out of place herself and kind of weird in society. And then she finds this creature who's obviously very out of place in society. She's like, oh, it's weird. It's kind of, like, flipped from the other movies, where it's usually the creature who's like, oh, I found someone who's kind of like me. This time, it's her who does that, which I thought was really interesting.
I really liked her character a lot because it felt like she didn't have more agency because she couldn't really, but like she had more cognitive awareness of her place in the world. And I really did like you said, that flip and their relationship at the beginning was really interesting. And I also thought it was a really cool choice to have her also play Frankenstein's mom, because it hammers in the point of like she's just kind of viewed as like an object to these people, like oh, she's my way of gaining this motherly affection that I lost. She's not a real person though.
She's female person,
and like I said, she's great. My biggest complaint with the movie is that she just kind of like it just kind of ends, and we don't get like, I think that it would have been cool to see them try to bring her back as a monster.
Yeah.
And that is something that I love so much about the book and the 90s movie is that the monster sort of becomes the thing that he hates by doing this to the woman. And I think they're trying to make the monster more likable in this one, so they didn't do that. And I think that they missed an opportunity to do something cool with that, because it really felt like her character was just like building and one of the most interesting adaptations of her character, and then nothing
then it's
really
over,
happened with it. So that was really my biggest dislike about the film.
Yeah, that's fair. There definitely was towards the end, like, I wish the monster was a little more brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything he does as far as hurting people is either in self-defense or just by accident, rather than him trying to hurt the doctor.
Yeah.
I feel like, and you could have still done it and made him sympathetic. Like, if he just has a moment, like, I thought they were going to do, which I think maybe just for me would have been a little more interesting, is I thought that Victor was going to kill Elizabeth more, like, out of jealousy and rage, and then try to blame it on the monster. And then if that happened, I thought the monster was then going to, like, obviously be pissed and then kill his brother as revenge, sort of, and then immediately be like, whoa, now I'm like you. I thought that's what they were going to do.
That could be interesting, too.
I thought that would have just made the characters a little more interesting rather than, like, black and white. Like, no, the creature is good and the doctor is bad.
Yeah. It was definitely more, because Victor is not this evil in any of the other adaptations either.
But I did like how evil they made him.
I was okay with that. After a little bit, I was like, but that's not my Victor. But then I was like, no, this is still fun. This is still interesting.
And they do still make it, like, it's not like it comes out of nowhere and he's just mustache-twirling villain.
Yeah. You know why he's doing everything he does. But he doesn't seem to feel like it's his fault as much as he does in the other adaptations.
Very true.
The other ones, he's like, oh, crap. What have I done? I'm awful for creating this thing. And it's like to the point where he's like way too far into self-pity that he completely neglects the monster, and then he basically causes everything that happens, which is interesting. In this one, he's more like, this is not what I meant to happen, and you suck, you're a monster, and then he causes everything to happen.
Yeah. There's very much, because he was raised, like, by an abusive father.
Yeah, that was interesting to see that dynamic, like, pass over into his relationship with the monster.
Yeah, and you can see, especially in his performance, of, like, he doesn't think that how he's raising the monster is wrong, because that's how he was raised. So he's like, why are you not listening to me when I smack you and stuff? You're supposed to now behave. What's going on? And it kind of, like, makes you feel sympathy for him a little bit, because it's all he knows, and it's all he was brought up with, so therefore he was kind of doomed from the start to become a villain. And then the creature makes that decision not to go down that path, which I love.
Yes, I agree. I think it was a little bit rushed, though. They had one conversation.
Yeah. It was definitely like, okay.
All right, then I guess I won't. But again, I think they were making the monster so not evil. I mean, he did have a lot of rage, but, like, not
murderous.
Yeah, not purely violent, murderous rage.
Only on those, the ship people, but I guess because they were trying to attack him. Again, he's never trying to, like, vengefully kill innocent people. It's when they're coming at him that he will kill you in literally ripping your jaw off. Twisting your head around.
Yeah, I think another thing, I wish that he killed the rest of the cottage family. Because I was like, that was a moment where he was like, no, the one person who liked me, and then now you all are blaming me for it. It would have been cool to see him just snap and kill everyone.
If he had more of those moments, and you don't have to make him, like, just a mindless...
No. Because, I mean, it's like in the book. He was very intelligent and felt deeply.
Yeah. And I do kind of like it better in the book when they just walk in on him with the old man.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of more
it makes it more impactful because they truly just think that it's a monster trying to do something to them.
Yeah, and they're literally just sitting there doing nothing with each other.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, are you kidding me right now? In this one, it kind of makes sense why they would think he did something bad.
Maybe they had to do that because he's so beautiful in this.
Yeah. No, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, no one's gonna. I mean, you might be like, whoa. But no one's gonna be like, oh my god, what is that?
I guess because he's large, I would be afraid.
Yeah, I'd definitely be like, whoa. But yeah, he's just got some scars. I mean, he's a little pale, a little pasty boy.
I also think that was really cool how, like, he is stitched together and parts of him are falling apart constantly, and then the doctor's not doing anything about it. I don't know, I just thought that visual was really interesting. Yep. I really liked the design of the creature. When I first saw it, I did have that thought where I was like, oh, he's too pretty, but then, like, once I saw it in the context of the movie, I was like, no, this is cool.
It kind of is meant to be like this beautiful. That's why everyone at first, like, I think the doctor included, is like, wow, my son.
It's very heartbreaking. It definitely got that heartbreak that you get from the book where it's just like, oh, everything just sucks.
It's the classic tragedy where, like, every step that goes wrong, you're like, no.
Oh, what did you think about Christoph Waltz's character?
Well, first of all, I love Christoph Waltz. He's always amazing. I was confused about which character he was supposed to be.
Me too.
At first.
I also think it was interesting that the whole creation of the creature was not done in isolation like it was in pretty much all the other versions.
Well, I can't remember really, but in the 90s movie, he did. His friend.
Yeah. But, like, this was like a team. I guess it was mostly just him and Christoph, but, like, people were aware that it was happening or were waiting for the results. So it was kind of I don't know how I feel about it, because I do love the idea of, like, just mad scientist doing his thing and, like, just you wait, guys.
I'll prove you all wrong.
Yeah, but it does make more sense in terms of, like, the funding that he was able to get. Like, the other ones, I was like, how in the world was he able to do this as a college student?
Yeah.
in the book. But, I don't really know how to feel about that yet.
Yeah, I definitely loved when he ends up killing that character.
Yes.
Accidentally-ish, and he just blames it on
that definitely adds a compelling piece.
You're like, oh my god.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like you're right. That character was kind of just there to be like, this is how he got the funding for everything.
And it did feel like they started to pose interesting ideas, much like with the Elizabeth character, and then kind of dropped them, like the whole thing where he wants to be put in the monster's body. Like, that's interesting. I mean, I guess they couldn't really do anything with it, because it does make sense that he would be like, no, you're diseased, I can't do it, and like that causes the conflict. But I don't know, it was just kind of a weird thing that they added randomly that didn't last very long.
Yeah, definitely by the end of the movie, you're like, oh yeah,
that dude was in it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm sure there's some kind of, like, deeper meaning there. Or, like,
Well, just I think that I don't know. I can see how I think Frankenstein was expecting what his creation to be like this perfect thing, and so he didn't want it to be soiled by a sick guy. But I don't know.
Yeah, and I guess if you think about it, that Christoph Waltz's character was kind of like, you know, this pristine guy who, like, is perfect. He comes across as like, I'm just the perfect guy. I have all this money, I have all this knowledge. And I guess, like, Victor kind of not idolizes him, but, like, admires him for that.
Yeah.
So then when he finds out that this man's actually very sick and dying, then it kind of flips. So I guess that kind of mirrors.
It's almost like he has, like, that weird moral complex of, like, you have to be perfect or else
get out.
But then he himself is, like, not that great of a person.
Yeah. And I was shocked at first, but then obviously it made sense as the story went on that Elizabeth just rejects him immediately.
Yeah, that was a very different dynamic.
Yeah. turning him into just this
incel.
an incel character because he then gets jealous of the monster when she connects with him.
I love that. That was so funny.
Great. And when he says, like, he can only say Victor's name, and then
he's like, Elizabeth.
And then he says her name. He's like, oh, it's great.
Oh, I love the petty slights.
Yes. So that added something really interesting.
Yeah, that was an interesting layer to add. That's why I did like that they stayed in that dynamic where they do actually interact for a while before everything goes really to crap.
Yeah, really
to crap.
And again, I think that goes back to the doctor thinking that as soon as someone's not who he thought they were,
who he had in his brain,
then he's like, oh, screw you then, you suck.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm trying to think if I can connect that back to his childhood. I guess maybe just being a scientist and all, and the whole thing they said about, like, the soul has no, like, physical anchoring in the body.
And he has
no control over that.
Yeah. And he has the marble thing figure.
Yes.
And then his father says, like, that's not what a body is like. A body isn't perfect marble. But I think he holds on to that thing through the whole movie, so he never got the message.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Which is even more hilarious, because then he's using these tactics that his father used on him to try to teach monster, and he's like, why aren't you learning? He never learned what his father was.
You never listened.
Because beating your kids doesn't work.
It's so, so all of it's very juicy. Everyone, if you haven't seen it yet, we've spoiled it, but you need to watch it. I will be watching it again, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure it'll get some award nominations. Mm-hmm. I think it should win some stuff, personally.
As long as it was, I would have added maybe another 20 minutes, personally.
Yeah, towards the end.
I think the ending felt a little bit rushed. They could have added that more stuff with Elizabeth. Bless you. Yeah, and then I was thinking maybe because the beginning was a little bit slow for me, so maybe they could cut down the beginning a little bit. I don't know. They're just slight tweaks to the pacing, I think I would do.
Yeah.
Oh, what about Victor and his milk? That's another thing. Milk being a symbol of, like, perfection, but oftentimes, like, false perfection.
Yep.
He's trying to consume the perfect. Yeah, that's interesting.
The layers just keep going.
I didn't even think about all of this before we started talking.
It also could be, like, because he was so obsessed with his mom.
That's what my original interpretation was like mother's milk.
Oh, God.
Which is messed up, I mean.
But I'm sure that has something to do with it.
Yeah.
Because it's weird because his mom was, like, the only one who treated him good in his childhood, and then he kind of, like, latches onto that.
Yes.
Therefore, why he sees Elizabeth as his mom. He's like, oh, female who I like, you must be just like my mother and love me so much. And she's like, not really. He's like,
what? Then you're awful.
Excuse me. Do you not see me?
I'm
Oscarizing.
That's why it would have been compelling if he were the one to kill her. Like, intentionally. Rather than
I kind of wish that that's how that went down.
I think that would have been good. And then they both try to bring her back to life. The monster realizes how messed up this is, and Victor the whole time is like, why am I doing this for you?
Yeah, so overall, a very well done film.
Yeah.
Many layers.
Lots to think about.
I'm sure when we watch it again, there'll be even more that we're like, oh.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those movies, especially because it's so long.
Yeah.
You can't really keep the mental stamina of nitpicking everything for 2.5 hours.
And by the time you get to the end, you forget about some stuff in the beginning.
Yeah.
Then you go back and be like, oh, yeah. But yeah, highly recommend.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where I would rank it. I was trying to think how I would rank it against the other adaptations. I really don't know at this moment.
They're all so different.
They're very
from
different.
Each other.
Like the 30s one, I wouldn't even put anywhere near the other two because it's like so its own thing.
Yeah. That's just, yeah.
I mean it's that doesn't mean it's not as good.
Yeah.
It's just different. It's different.
And it still does have a lot of the same themes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
I really
don't
know.
They're so different. This definitely, I'm sure this will be on my my top list of the year.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I will say that.
That's what we were saying with the long walk. We're like, maybe Frankenstein can also, it's up there, I'd say.
Yeah. It didn't knock off the long walk for me, but
I don't think so either, but
it's definitely going to be on the list.
Yeah. I mean, right now it's number 2. I think.
Yeah, it's definitely top 5.
What else was really good this year? I can't think of anything. Sinners is gonna be on my list for sure.
Sinners was great. Novocaine's still really high up for me.
I don't think Novocaine's higher than Frankenstein for me, but like it's there.
Why can't I think of anything else?
Why was I gonna say Smile too? That did not come out this year.
It's just always in your mind.
That was on my list last year, and in my heart, it's on my list every year.
Yes, it never goes away. Mm-hmm. Who knows? Maybe Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is going to take the number 1 spot.
Well, you'll be hearing soon.
So, as far as how many stars? I would give this movie out of 5 stars. Probably. Honestly, because I'm in such a good mood, I'd give it a solid 4.
Nice. I was gonna say 8, so same thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it was really good. Maybe an 8.5 even if I'm feeling generous. I'd have to watch it again, but maybe an 8.5, somewhere in that realm. Yeah,
that's our thoughts.
Concludes our review. What are we talking about next week?
Well, our final 3 episodes this season are going to be Kayla's going to take the lead.
Kayla, take the lead.
We are
going to discuss Stranger Things season 1 and 2 next episode. The episode after that, we're discussing seasons 3 and 4. Wait, right? Yeah, and then the final episode of season 4 of this We Just Want to Talk Movies season is going to be a deep dive and discussion of season 5 to conclude our Stranger Things journey.
Yes, indeeder.
Yes, and I'm very excited. Before we sign off, I forgot to say, what have we been watching?
I've been doing a little deep dive into the classic, most disturbing movies of all time, because I've found that I am in the mood. I'm like, you know what? Let's just do this. These movies, I've got to watch them at some point, and I'm just gonna do it. And I started off really easy because I finally watched The Human Centipede, you guys. It was actually pretty good, to be honest with you. It was one of those movies that's like, it really doesn't show that much at all. And it's like such a unique idea. I've definitely never seen it anywhere else. I think it's like competently made and everything. I think it deserves its flowers for all of that and all the hype behind it. Thought it was quite good. The sequels, I can't say the same. Those were not for me. But next, I will be watching, finally, Martyrs, which a lot of people say is the most disturbing movie ever made. And I will get back to you on that, but I'm a little nervous. I'm sure I will get through it, though. I have watched some French extremist movies before, like Inside, the pregnancy one. Didn't think it was that bad, so maybe I'll be okay with this one. Who knows? I know like everything that happens in it, so I'm a little prepared. But yeah, still a little nervous. I will be watching Tusk for the first time as well.
Don't make me watch it.
I'm pretty excited about that.
Don't make me watch that ever.
Yeah,
I think anyone who's seen my evolution on Terrifier here, I was art for Halloween.
You were. That's amazing.
I still stand by the fact that they're not really for me, but you know what? I can appreciate who they are for. Therefore,
for me.
I dressed up as cute version of art.
Well, and you appreciate it's for the gays, you know.
And Art as a character. Oh, I've definitely fallen in love with him.
Amazing.
Just it's not every day that I need to see a film like that.
No, not every day. And that's what's, most of the movies I'm going to be watching are not like Terrifier level stuff I can handle, but these kind of movies are like
they're more
they're meant to be serious.
Yes, exactly.
So that's why I'm like,
yeah.
But here I go. Wish me luck, everyone. Well, I guess Tusk is meant to be stupid, so that'll be okay.
I still can't do that. I don't want to look at it.
Johnny Depp's in it.
I know. Isn't his daughter in it too? Is she? I don't remember.
She might be as like a cameo.
I can't remember. Anyway, in terms of what I've been watching, I'm currently in my rewatch of Stranger Things. I'm about halfway through season 1. I am halfway through season 1. But of course, we'll be talking more about that in the next episode. I also restarted Hannibal because I will be finishing it this time and not leaving it halfway through for months. And most importantly, we are currently, as I speak to you, halfway through the release of the Talamasca show. And you know what? It's pretty good. Like, I'm alright with it.
That's good.
I mean, it's nothing close to Interview with the Vampire, which I wasn't expecting. But it's also nowhere close to Mayfair Witches. So, like, cheers. Claps and cheers. That's all
Big
I
sigh
wanted.
of relief.
That is all I wanted. Yeah, it's really entertaining. I'm excited to see the next episode every week where I dreaded Mayfair Witches episodes. And yeah, I'm really interested in the way that they're weaving in book stuff, even though it is not based off of a book at all. It's just based off of Anne Rice's sort of world. They have revenant vampires in this season, which is one of my favorite Anne Ricean concepts, where
Ricean.
I don't know exactly. I don't know if I have it exactly right, but you drain them of their blood, but before they're completely drained, you feed them vampire blood, and then you bury them in the earth, and they have to like come out of the earth, and then they're like these weird zombie vampires. There is a character named Jasper who, like, I'm already really intrigued about. We haven't seen a lot of him, but he's this old. Supposedly he's very old. I've just heard that from like spoilery articles, but supposedly he's a really old vampire, and he has a troop of revenant vampires that he controls with a little clicker, which is like that's just such a fun concept. And the spy stuff in the show is really fun. There is a scene where the main character Guy is on a laptop on a plane, and he's trying to do spy work, and he puts these glasses on that makes him see the actual spy screen, whereas everyone else just sees like a screensaver. I think that's really fun. I love stuff like that. I loved seeing Daniel Malloy, obviously, in the first episode, his little cameo that he had. We got to watch him at a book signing, reading some of the Interview with the Vampire book. That was very fun. My main gripes are just, okay, so the character of Helen, she's supposed to be like this kind of mysterious, put together suit woman who's like the head of the New York mother house of Talamasca. Tell me why, like, all of her outfits don't fit her. Like, she's drowning in the fabric. I'm like, they're such cool outfits, but someone needs to just tailor them slightly more.
Jesus.
And then, like, I don't know, she keeps doing, like, these weird, like, shy looks, and I'm like, that doesn't seem like something that someone who we're supposed to be so, like, mysteriously afraid of is supposed to act. I don't know. I feel like I don't know if it's on the acting or the directing. I don't know. That's kind of been bugging me. And then I really enjoy the character who plays the main character, Guy. I think he's a really charming actor. I've watched some interviews with him. He's very funny. But he's also a really good actor. The only thing is, like, he's doing his best with what he's given, but I feel like his character is sort of all over the place at the moment. He's really smart one second and really dumb the next second, and really, like, knows what he's doing with the spy stuff one second, and then he's like, well, I don't really want to be involved. So, like, I don't know how I feel yet about him as a character, but, like, the acting, he's a great actor. So I'm here to watch him evolve and hopefully maybe become more solid as if they get a second season or as the season goes on. The next episode is going to be the Guy and Jasper team-up episode, and I'm very excited about that. I'm trying not to overhype it, because also Raglan James is supposed to be in it, who's from Tale of the Body Thief, one of the most iconic book characters. He's very iconic in Interview with the Vampire, the show. So I'm very excited to see all of these characters come together. But I will have more thoughts on that next time we speak. I'm done.
As well as Stranger Things stuff.
Yes, I'll be talking a lot next episode.
So make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, if you wish, at We Just Want to Talk Movies, so you can see every bit of news that we post and all our fun little TikToks. And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel or wherever you listen to your podcasts, so that you never miss an episode. And that's it for this episode.
And we'll catch you on the flick side with Stranger Things.